What if I told you the secret to gratitude isn't about changing the world around you, but changing the world inside you? Today's episode is for anyone who's ever had one of those days, and you know what I'm talking about. Coffee spills, emails hit wrong, your motivation packs up and leaves without notice. Today we're diving into 10 ways to avoid letting the hard days win. Because let's be honest, hard days happen, but they don't have to define us. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, and I'm your host, Jason. You can catch us on all your favorite platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can also listen to our episodes on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and our home on Podbean. We want to hear from you folks. If you're interested in being a guest or contributing, reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Join the Catalyst community today and be part of something truly transformative. Welcome to episode 119. 10 ways to avoid letting the hard days win. Okay, so let me start with a story. A few months ago, I was running late for a training session. I spilled protein drink on my shirt. I got stuck in traffic. And when I finally arrived, I was a mess. Flustered and apologetic. I get to the presentation and it wouldn't turn on. I stood there blinking at a blank screen thinking, this day is out to get me. Sound familiar? Maybe I had a day like my friend Scott. He got a rejection email from a job he really wanted. And then he comes home and finds out his dog chewed through his favorite pair of Jordans. He texted me saying, dude, I feel like the universe is personally trolling me. These moments feel heavy. But here's the truth. Hard days aren't personal. They're just part of the package. So, how do we stop the hard days from winning? Well, what we don't do is fight them with force. What we do, that's right, I said do. I know, I'm 11. What we will do is meet them with intention. These 10 strategies aren't just ideas, they're lived experiences. They've actually helped real people reclaim their lives, their peace, and their power. So let's break them down. These are the 10 ways to avoid letting the hard days win. Are you ready? Number 1, you gotta name it to tame it. You gotta name it to tame it. When emotions are unnamed, they run wild. But when you name them, you start to tame them. Neuroscience shows that labeling emotions activates the prefrontal cortex, helping us regulate instead of react. Jordan, a high school teacher, used to push through stress until it boiled over. One morning after a chaotic class and a tech failure, he paused and he said aloud, I'm overwhelmed and I feel unsupported. That moment helped him breathe, reset, and go ask a colleague for help. It didn't fix the day, he said, but it stopped me from spiraling. Try this. Say it out loud. I'm anxious. I'm sad. I'm tired. Awareness is the first step. All right, name it to tame it. That's number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is micro gratitude. Micro gratitude. Gratitude doesn't have to be profound. It just has to be present. Studies show that writing down 3 small gratitudes daily can increase happiness by 25% in 2 weeks. 25% in 2 weeks. Kim, a nurse working night shift during the pandemic, started a tiny joy journal. Her entries were simple. A patient smiled. My tea was perfect. I got a parking spot. She said, it didn't erase the hard days, but it reminded me that they weren't all bad. Try this. Write down one thing today that didn't suck. That's enough. Micro gratitude. All right, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, move. Move something. Stuck energy needs movement, not just your body, your environment as well. Malik, a remote worker, felt trapped in the monotony. I mean, we all did, right? He started rearranging his desk every Friday. Sometimes it was just a plant. Sometimes it was the whole setup. He said it gave me a sense of control when everything else felt chaotic. Try this. Open a window. Change your seat. Light a candle. Movement shifts energy. So move something. All right. Let's go and talk about number 4. Number 4 is talk to yourself like a friend. Talk to yourself like a friend. This one was a hard one for me. I was able to overcome it in 2020. And it's really been helpful in a healing process for me. Your inner voice sets the tone for your day. So make it kind. Elena, a grad student, used to berate herself for every mistake. One day she wrote herself a letter as if it was her best friend, and she said, "Hey, I know today sucked, but you're trying, and that's what matters." She now keeps that letter in her planner and looks at it often. Try this. Would I say this to someone I love? Would I say this to someone I love? Anytime you're talking to yourself, is it something that you would say to someone you love? If not, don't say it. If you wouldn't say it to them, don't say it to yourself. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is create a hard days playlist. Create a hard days playlist. Music is emotional medicine. It bypasses logic and speaks directly to our souls. Chris, a single dad, made a playlist called Survival Mode. It starts with Coldplay and it ends with Kendrick Lamar. He plays it while doing the dishes or driving to work. He said it's like emotional armor, and it reminds him that he's made it through the worst. So try this. Make a playlist that feels like a hug, a pep talk, or a dance party in your kitchen. Put it together. Let it be your armor, just like it was for Chris. Create a hard days playlist. Okay, number 6. Set a 5-minute timer. Set a 5-minute timer. Overwhelmed thrives in the gap between intention and action. So let's shrink the gap. The Zeigarnik effect shows that once we start something, our brains want to finish it. I hope I said that right. Meet Tasha, a freelance writer. She was paralyzed with a looming deadline. She set a timer for 5 minutes and told herself, I'll just write one sentence. That sentence turned into a paragraph, then a page. She now uses the 5-minute rule to start everything. So try this. Pick one task, set a timer, start. That's a win. Set a 5-minute timer. Set a 5-minute timer, folks. That was number 6. Okay. Number 7. Number 7 is laugh at something. Laugh at something. Laughter is a nervous system reset. It reminds you that joy still exists. Meet Omar, a retail manager. He started watching one funny video every morning before work. His favorite one? The dog trying to catch the bubbles. He says it's silly, but it reminds him to not take everything so seriously. So I got a joke. Why don't skeletons fight with each other? Why don't skeletons fight with each other? Because they don't have the guts. Sorry about that one. I do apologize. Try this, folks. Find one thing that makes you laugh, even if it's dumb, especially if it's dumb, like that joke. Whew. All right, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is text someone honest. Text someone honest. Connection is the antidote to isolation, but it starts with honesty. Meet Lily, a college freshman felt overwhelmed and alone. One day she texted her sister, "I'm not okay today." Her sister replied, "Me neither. Want to FaceTime and cry together?" That moment built a deep bond and a new habit of checking in with each other. So try this. Text someone. "Today's been rough. I just needed to say that." Sometimes vulnerability builds bridges. Find that person that you trust. Send them a message. All right. Number 9. We're almost done. Number 9. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share. Number 9 is visualize the end of the day. Visualize the end of the day. Mental time travel helps you remember. This moment is temporary, folks. Meet Marcus. A paramedic started a ritual before each shift. He'd close his eyes and picture himself getting home, kicking off his boots and sitting on the couch. "It gave me something to aim for," he said, "even when the day got brutal." So try this. Picture yourself tonight. Safe. Resting. You made it through, folks. Visualize the end of the day. All right. The last one, number 10. Say this out loud. Ready? This day is allowed to be hard, and I'm allowed to be okay anyway. This day is allowed to be hard, and I'm allowed to be okay anyway. This is your permission slip, folks. Meet Zoe. A new mom wrote this mantra on a sticky note and put it on her fridge. She reads it every morning. "It gives me permission not to be perfect," she said. And that's what I need most. Try this. Say it with me. Come on, folks. Say it with me. This day is allowed to be hard, and I'm allowed to be okay anyway. Say it again. This day is allowed to be hard, and I'm allowed to be okay anyway. Let that be your mantra. Let that be enough. All right. Today we're going to do something different. We're going to close today's episode not with advice, but with a moment. Here's today's takeaway. People, sometimes what we need isn't more information. Sometimes it's integration, a chance to breathe, to reflect, and to gently shift the weight we're carrying. So, wherever you are, driving, walking, sitting at your desk, hiding in your bathroom for a moment of peace, take a deep breath. Don't close your eyes, especially if you're driving. Just take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Come on. I want you to hold it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Gently exhale through your mouth. All right, let's do that one more time. Inhale through your nose. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through your mouth. I want you to ask yourself this question, not as a demand, but as an invitation. What is the one thing I can do in the next 10 minutes to make this day 1% better? Let me repeat that. What is the one thing I can do in the next 10 minutes to make this day 1% better? Not 100%, not perfect, just 1%. Because healing doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in inches. And sometimes the smallest shift is the most powerful. The idea of 1% better comes from behavioral psychology and habit science. It's the antidote to being overwhelmed. When we aim for small wins, we bypass resistance and build momentum. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says, small improvements compounded over time lead to remarkable results. So now it's your turn. Grab a pen, open your notes app, whisper to yourself, what's the one thing I can do in the next 10 minutes to make this day 1% better. Write it down. Do it. And let that be enough. If you'd like to go deeper, here's a short journaling prompt. Today has been blank. I feel blank, but I choose to blank because I deserve peace, even in the middle of the mess. You don't have to share it. You don't even have to explain it. We'll let it just be for us. The hard days don't need heroic solutions. They need gentle ones. And you, my friend, you are allowed to take up space, even when you're not at your best. So let's recap. Hard days do not get the final word. You do. You do. Thank you so much for spending time with us. If this episode helped, share it with someone you think might need it. And remember, you're not alone, you're not broken, and you're doing better than you think. That's it for today. If I can ask for one small favor, please like and subscribe to our podcast for more motivational content. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for more inspiration. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 119. We look forward to seeing you next time for episode 120. Go be great.